Thank you. Thank you. Wow. It is great to be back. It's great to be back. There was a time about 4 years ago after the accident that I thought I might never perform for you again. But the old man upstairs, I guess he wasn't through with me yet. And Thank you, thank you. And there are some people who I simply have to thank. People without whose support I would have just curled up and died, baby. There is Eddie Cantor, the man who gave me my Star of David. The only night I haven't worn it in 5 years was the night of the accident. Eddie Cantor. Eddie Cantor, ladies and gentlemen.
I love you, Sammy.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, man. From the bottom. I mean that, from the bottom. And last but never least, a man who gave my pop and my uncle and I our first break a dozen or so years ago. A man who got me gigs at clubs that wouldn't have me in the audience until he got me a table there too. A man who picked me up when I was so very, very down. My leader. More importantly, my friend. Mr. Frank Sinatra. I'm over here, Frank. Frank, I'm over here.
Sammy, let me ask you this. How's your bird?
It was my eye, Frank. My left eye.
Oh. Thank God for that, Sammy, because eyes, you know, we got two of.
Yeah.
But when your bird can't fly, you're earthbound, baby. Welcome back, Sammy Davis Jr., ladies and gentlemen.
Frank, come here, baby.
Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis? Sorry to disturb you, but Frank thought you might like a little breakfast.
Look, George, I don't want to be Charlie ungrateful here or anything, but how about just a piece of rye toast? Burn, you know?
All right.
George, stop calling me Mr. Davis, all right, baby?
All right, Mr. Baby.
On the second day of 1960, Senator John Fitzgerald Kennedy has thrown his hat into the ring for the Democratic presidential nomination.
Is Momo up yet?
Not yet.
Conference being held in the Senate
here,
Washington.
Betty.
Senator, do you think it's really possible for a Catholic Harvard man with a New England accent to win in the South?
No. But whomever he is, I wish the poor fellow luck. Apropos of that, I just received the following wire from my generous father. Bobby? It reads as follows. Dear Jack, don't buy a single vote more than is necessary. I'll be damned if I'm going to pay for a landslide.
Hey, you see, now that's a big leaguer, George. That's a big leaguer. He knows exactly what everyone's thinking, and what does he do? He walks right into the lion's mouth and he pulls up a chair. That's guts, baby. That is guts.
Yeah, he's a playboy.
So what? So are you. What does that have to do with anything?
But I ain't running for president. Oh, Frank, Rocky Cooper called. The Crumb is definitely coming to her party on the 17th. So I told her you declined the invite as usual.
Is he bringing his new bride?
Mrs. Patricia Kennedy Lawford. I do believe she mentioned that as the main reason she couldn't say no to the Crumb. Yes.
Call her back, George. Tell her I'm coming.
Whatever you say.
George. Tell her I want to sit next to Mrs. Crumb.
That ought to be something to see.
Thank you all very much. We'll see you again.
Yep.
Hello, bad boys.
Rocky.
There she
I
is.
thought you'd never
How are you,
get
Dom?
here.
How are you? Brought my caddy. Thought we'd play a few holes in your backyard. Is that right?
Oh, what do you want to drink?
Bourbon and Coke.
Bourbon and water. I don't mix my drinks, political parties, or races. Right, Sammy?
Yes, boss.
Oh, you are so rough and gruff. I love that about you.
You do, do you?
You're beautiful.
Is Dean coming?
Oh, you know, he said he wanted to stay home with the family, watch a Western. You know, Dean.
Well, nobody knows Dean, doll.
You said a mouthful. Who was that?
Who?
That. The blonde with the eyes and the shape and the yum.
That's my Brit. She was the girl that was in the Young Lions with Dean.
Huh.
But I think she's quite fast enough for you, Sammy.
Well, I'll limp, sweetheart. Is she single?
Oh, she's single, but I warn you, she turns down everybody, including Dean.
Yes, well, watch my smoke, sweetheart.
All
Excuse
right,
me.
I'm watching.
Smokey.
Yeah.
Think taller.
Oh, good tip, babe. Nick, baby.
Rocky. Rocky, where's the crumb? I don't see the crumb.
Oh, his TV show is shooting late. Stop calling him the Crumb. Peter's very charming, and he's a Democrat, too.
Is that Sister Kennedy?
Mrs. Peter Lawford.
How I've wanted to meet you, Frank.
It's a pleasure, sweetheart.
Oh, my God, he called me sweetheart. Wait till I tell Jack.
Shall we have a seat? Rocky.
Excuse me, Miss Britt.
Tell me.
Tell you? Well, you're beautiful, I'll tell you that much. My name is Sammy.
Sammy Davis Jr. I know, I saw your Broadway show. Mr. Wonderful. It was the most amazing thing I ever see.
Oh.
Is that right? See?
No, actually, it's Saw.
Ah, yes, I get my attentions confused.
Oh, that's all right. I get tints, too, from time to time, baby.
You call everybody baby.
Well, it's easier than remembering all these cuckoo names.
My name is Mai. It's spelled May, but it's pronounced Mai. Can you remember that?
Yes. Every time I see you, I'll think, my oh my.
Jack's your biggest fan, you know. He loves all those, what do you call it, those... Oh, your Frankenslang, that's it. What is that, anyway, all those delicious words you use?
It's just a way of saying what you want to say when you don't want the stiffs who run things to know what you're saying. That's all.
It's just a way of being naughty.
No wonder Jack said you were the one man in the world he'd like to trade places with.
Really? Well.
Nice to see you again.
Peter, darling, you made it.
Darling, I'm so sorry. Mwah, mwah, so sorry I'm late. There's this rather bad actress at the studio. She keeps forgetting her lines. Hello, darling. And you know, so they keep on. Oh my God, Rocky, how could you do this? This is. That's Frank.
Now, Peter, just take it easy.
Think he's nervous?